Hello and welcome. I'm Adri Gregan, and I am back for Frieren Beyond Journey's End. Today we're getting into episode 17, and I think this might be the last episode of the first core of the show, and it certainly seems like it's shaping up to be that way because it looks like we're going to have a sort of 1.5-parter, something like that, because the second half of last episode, and I suppose the start of the episode, was very focused on Sein and on his friend, who we learned is named a guerrilla warrior of all things. So it was interesting. Apparently, Sein was a very passive person before meeting a guerrilla warrior, but guerrilla warrior. I say that name every time, but it's so funny. I have to. Guerrilla warrior inspired the desire of to adventure within Sein. You could say it sparked his adventurous spirit. And now it seems like the best lead they have is that that his friend is far off, I think, to the east of where they are, which is quite a detour in their northern journey. So he obviously wants to go see his friend. It's why he's on this journey, but it's going to be a significant delay to our own journey, which begs the question of whether we are going to part ways or if we are going to go out of our way just to accompany him on this journey. Or maybe we'll do both. Maybe we'll accompany him and then we'll see him off there. Either way, it's I've got this sneaking suspicion that he won't be part of our party for long, especially with the title of this episode. And I'm not happy about it. I love Sein so much. I really hope he stays, but he doesn't strike me as a permanent member of this party, as weird as that sounds. So I think we're going to say goodbye to him. I really don't want to, but that's also part and parcel of journeys, right? It's what makes them so special. It's these meetings and farewells. So I guess we'll see, though. I guess before that, though, I should talk about the first half of the episode, too, because the second half far from carried the weight of the episode. I would argue, if anything, the former did, despite it being less connected to what we're about to get into, presumably at least. The first half of the episode was incredibly powerful. We met Old Man Vol, a dwarf, and the second dwarf we've met in the show, if I'm not mistaken, and he has a quirk where he acts senile and to catch people off their guard, and as a result, he actually got a chance to train Stark a little bit and perhaps get him a little bit more, freshen up his alertness, let's call it. And yet, at the end of the episode, several interesting things happened. Vol asked Frieren whether she remembers her journey, her party, and especially Himmel. And she, for the first time, I think, in the show, really takes a stand and defends something that she's interested in. And she takes offense to the fact that she might not remember somebody who meant so much to her, which is a really powerful and significant moment for Frieren. It really shows how much more in tune she is with herself and how open she is, both towards with others and with herself, about how she really feels. Unfortunately, that moment got overshadowed by the moment that followed with Vol, because it was absolutely heartbreaking. We learned that this was not, in fact, a test of Vol's, but instead it was a way for him to admit that he can't really remember his own late loved one, his wife, her voice, her face. It's all fading because his senile demeanor, it's not really an act anymore. He's old and he's not long for this world. So Frieren promises to carry him along in her memory and carry on his legacy too, as he did with his wife, which is so beautiful. It's such a beautiful moment. And it's especially beautiful because the second vignette of the episode, which I already talked about, again talks about the theme of memory and of legacy. Because on top of the stuff with Guerrilla Warrior and with Sein, there was a realization and I suppose, discovery of a party of heroes that predated Frieren's, potentially predated Frieren's life herself, which means it may have been well over a century old, or not a century, a millennium old, sorry. And one of them had a goatee and looked quite similar to Sein, which seems to be very intentional on Sein's part, but the other one seems to have been Kraft, the elf. I don't know why that word blanked on me. The elf that we met, like, what, an episode or two ago? I think it was like 2 episodes ago. May have been 3 by now. The show is just flying by. It's a blink and it's gone show, despite how slow and cozy it is. But we learn about that party of, it's really just a pair of heroes. A pair of heroes whose names and deeds have been lost to time, even if their statues, their memorials, endure. And it's really interesting. It questions the idea of whether Himmel's party, Frieren's party, will be different, whether they'll be more timeless, or if they too will be lost to time. I mean, everything will be lost to time eventually, right? So I guess it's a matter of perspective, which this show's all about. But it's really interesting, and the idea of wanting to leave a mark on the world and wanting to be like those heroes that still ended up being forgotten, it's powerful. It's really powerful. It was a really powerful, incredible episode. And I've got a feeling this one's going to be powerful too, because, oh, if my worst fears are right, then we might say goodbye to somebody who has somehow become a dear friend to us in such a short time. But I guess we'll just have to get into the episode to see. I'm not going to waste any more time. We're just going to get in and just rip the band-aid right off. Now, before I get started, if you do enjoy the video, please do remember to leave a like. If it helps me out and it helps show the algorithm that people enjoyed it. If you really liked it, go ahead and leave a comment or even subscribe to help yourself out. It lets you get notified whenever I release these. At the moment, it's 3 times a week. Probably starting in like March, it'll become 2 times a week though, as I shift onto my new schedule. Now, if you do want the unaltered full reaction, I do full reactions on YouTube anyways, but the visual filter and some audio filters may be applied for copyright. But that is on Patreon for $2. You get access to all my unaltered reactions from here on. So go ahead, check that out if you're interested. But with all that YouTuber housekeeping out of the way, I'm going to hop into Frieren Beyond Journey's End. Season 1, episode 17. Let's see what we've got. And am I going to cry? And why is the answer yes? What to do, right? Sure. Mm-hmm. Opposite direction of Oithurst. Oyster? What a sentence out of context. In Japanese, it's even funnier. I went on this journey to chase after gorillas. I'm so stupid. I'm so dumb. It's this episode. I'm going to explain why I'm so excited in a minute, if you're not caught up. The title card! Sein's still there! Please tell me he stays! Oh, wow, the color contrast is beautiful. Oh, there's some characters I sort of recognize. Oh my god. The grain filter. Oh, wow, it's a beautiful shot. Beautiful. There she is. Ubel, I think her name is. Wow. Oh, her. Are we finally gonna meet her? They teased her in the opening. We never got to see her. Oh, crew. Wow, that's beautiful. And then the new party. Yeah. Oh, it's everything I wanted. I'm sorry, I need to get into the episode now. I'll explain after the episode why that I was so excited for that. That may seem blown out of proportion, but I'll just say right now, Sunny is one of my all-time favorite songs, but I've never seen the visuals. I've held out all this time. I can't believe it actually met my expectations, considering how high they were. Oh my god, poor Fern. Stark, do something. Good lord. Just watching the poor girl practically about to fall over. Come on, give her like gloves or something. Yeah, there you go. Oh, it's so lewd. She's gonna feel a certain type of way. Just messing with them. That's so cute. That's so adorable. It's something we've all done, right? We've all done that before. Maybe we still do it. Jeez, another 6 months. Okay, that's good. Oh, no. Well, now that you've said it. The slow fade to a blizzard. Yup. Classic. Doesn't get any more classic than that. Blizzarding. I didn't realize that was a verb. Oh, jeez. Well, at least it's not as long as last time. Jeez, maybe the thing we're bidding farewell to in this episode is just the blizzard. I mean, it's a month. That'll pass in like 20 seconds in this show. But do they have a library? I know that's what you're interested in. There it is. Perfection. Exactly what you want to hear. Yep, the shadier the better. Get rid of mold and tough oil stains. Those are really useful, actually. Yeah, that's great. Seriously. Silence you. Bet you never cleaned a dish in your life. I don't know why I'm saying it like he's a rich guy. He came from a small village, but he nearly dies everywhere. That's normal. Yeah. And he's smiling. Oh. He's not gonna want to leave, is he? Not that I can blame him, of course. Nice. All the weird, oddly specific spells you could possibly ask for. And yet never enough. Oh. Never change, Frieren. Never change. And then we'll have to continue on our journey to say goodbye. That's not your fault. That's kind of your fault, I mean. You could have spent time with the kids. Yosuga Hen. She looks so meek. How unusual of her. Is it now? I mean, I guess sort of? What did you do this time? Oh yeah, they definitely fought. Is she finally tired of him sweating up the cabin? Of course it is. Doesn't deny it. I love their dynamic. Just drag him away. Oh my god, her pouting faces. I can't tell which I like more. Burn's pouting faces or Frieren's smug faces. Such an unfair thing to have to choose between. Did he do it back to her? Revenge? And she did not appreciate it, did she? But admittedly, you snuck up behind her. That's... Yeah. Especially with your palm. You gotta use the back of your hand. Come on. It was your fault. Unlike me. He's got such a strange image of himself. Aww. Yeah. And this is the kind of mediation that priests do, right? It's what they're great for. Oh, that was cute. And now she gets to feel a little bad, right? Yeah. Oh, I love these two so much. I love these two so much. Oh. Just made her feel a little uncomfortable. Which is completely normal. Of course not. That's just kind of how she is. If it's worth it for you. It's partway there. It's close enough. Seriously. I mean, I didn't say that. What? Of course, you are. She may not look like she's an One-san, but she's an One-san at heart. More of that self-esteem. Projection, yeah. Yeah, because it's like talking to my old self. If she were in front of me, I'd be pissed, right? It's what Himmel would have done. There's that line again. Of course he's the one who brought her on. Oh, pure reason. That's so beautiful. Wow. They helped you find the courage you already had. There's such a beautiful music box OST. I think it's a music box. Might not be though. Might be like a, I don't know, a harp? I don't know my instruments as well as I should. So is this a flashback sequence for a farewell, or is this him deciding he doesn't want to leave after all? Oh man, if the title's about him saying goodbye to his desire to see Guerrilla Warrior, I'm actually gonna break down. That's gonna be so brutal. I mean, beautiful, but... Or maybe it's just hope. Maybe I'm just coping with the fact that we'll see say goodbye to him. But I can hope a little bit longer, right? I can dream. Okay. That's good. Good to follow your heart. That's why we're going too. Please, please say it. Aww. They are just saying goodbye? No way. No way they're just saying goodbye like that. Come on. Yeah. Stop. Come on. Come on. Come on. Go back. Please go back. Oh. We're really saying goodbye, huh? I guess that is the world of adults. No need for a big emotional breakdown. Just see you later. Hmm. Working on his cooking. Love to see it. Oh, that's not good. A fever. She doesn't seem to have a fever, but it's not a curse, is it? Okay, at least she seems alright. No oddly specific spells for... Or is that what she's looking for? Okay, herbs. Carrying on a bit of him with you, huh? Interesting. Of course you do. Why wouldn't you? It doesn't get more Frieren than that. It really doesn't. That's good. This really does have a good memory, just casually remembering a field we went to 80 years ago. Unless there's yet another important scene that happened there. Oh yeah, getting a roof over your head is... That's gonna do a lot of good. Icicle cherry blossom. Huh. Winter Sakura, huh? Yeah, it's normal. Oh, that's so cute. Just a little bit lewd. And now she's bashful. What am I gonna do if Stark starts holding my hand? Oh, yeah, she's getting self-conscious, probably because she's around Stark. Even though you are a child. You, Stark, Sein too. Yeah. And of course she's talking all about her. All humans are children to you. But I get what she means. Little itty bitty baby fern. She's so precious. I wouldn't mind a few flashbacks of that. Ooh. It'll lead you there? Or just feeding it? Tsurara Sakura. Wow. That is beautiful. Oh, the way the light reflects off of it. Yeah, really is a winter sakura tree. No wonder the icicles looking like fruit. I mean, she was just doing something that she knows he appreciates, right? It's all I can do. Yeah. That's what everyone does. Oh, this episode just dropping banger after banger lines. Just one after another. Just boom, thump, 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 thump. Straight bangers. I've got to choose one to... So she does it because he did it for her, yeah. And he does it because someone did it for him, yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, I know the big topic I'm gonna be talking about this today. Oh yeah, I can't wait to talk about that. It does feel good. Especially if it's someone I care about doing it. Yep, breaking the tension with his levity, as he tends to do. Himmel's so incredible. What an incredible hero. What an incredible human being. Yeah, exactly. Especially around someone that they like. Aww. Spread the love. We'll do it, just not when Fern's around. Cute little waddle. My goodness! It's bigger than her torso! Oh my god, is that where this is from? I've seen those shit post where it's like just a bunch of anime characters like putting together potions and stuff. I've seen her stirring a cauldron. I didn't realize I was actually. It's so funny. Her expressions are just just elite. Doesn't matter. Adults hold hands too. Adults need comforting too. Yeah. Acknowledgement. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Now she's okay with it because she's acknowledging. Oh, this episode's so good. This episode's so good. The first half of this vignette was like kind of alright. It was comfortable, but oh, the latter half is just, oh my god, just absolute bangers. Mahou Toshi. Oithirst. I don't know. Oh! Oh, it's the second core of the song! What? It's the second core of Anytime Anywhere! With different visuals for the second core! Oh, that's beautiful! Wow! Look at this art! Sure, melting and like being pulled down by the earring. Wow! And it's so much like less colorful than the other one. I just got chills. Oh, wow. Wow, look at that. She's like a figure. What? This is incredible. How did I not know about this? Oh, wow. The path is like curving. She's still just walking on it, reaching. Oh, and the songs are all the different parts they've taken from it. What is that? Is that her? Oh. That was so beautiful. This was incredible. What a beautiful ED. Okay, I'm sorry. I need to go over this first before we get into the episode and before we get into the opening. My god, we have so many things to get into this episode. This is, I mean, and it completely changes, like just like how they take different parts of the rest of the full song of Anytime Anywhere, they change art styles too. I mean, it starts off with this gorgeous artistic. Oh wow. Oh, that's baby Fern, isn't it? Her little hair ribbon flying off. Is that a grave? Oh, it's probably either Himmel's or her master's. Probably Himmel's, right? And the way that her little earring falls like a teardrop and then drags all of her down, her losing her shape and leaving behind that first artistic world we see. And then we think we're going to get a beat drop with the chorus, but then we get this and it falls like a teardrop and gets absorbed into this almost like claymation thing with, of course, Fern's ribbon, and this world's like all grayscale, which I guess the other world kind of was too. And the only color we really see is the color of red, the ribbon, right? She's like wandering around lost as she's going on her journey, searching for what she's missing, searching for the reason she's on this journey. Oh, wow. wow, the way she like weaves out throughout this like landscape, this beautiful mix of, it's absolutely stunning. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if this was like an actual model, if they actually did it like a physical model. It's probably not, but it looks like it. And oh god, the way the path like curves, of course it's the ribbon, right? The way the path like curves and she follows it, and then reaching out for, is that the I don't know, that might be the blue flower that was Himmel's favorite, or it might be something to come. But then there's the butterfly again. And if I remember correctly, I think it's also the shape of the amulet, the one that like signifies eternal love. She's reaching out for it, and then god, it absorbs the flower and pops out, revealing like her reflection of her, without, of her like, I assume it's Frieren, without like her all her clothes done and stuff, and without her hair done. And then yeah, it is the flower, it is the blue flower, and she's there being with a very lewd head lap pillow from Fern, consoling her, coming back to when she was lying down, right before she got dragged down by the earring. That's incredible. That, this might be one of my favorite endings, period. This genuinely might be one of my favorite endings I've ever seen. I think that's the Demon Castle too in the background. This is masterful. This is incredible. I wish I knew more about animation and about the production of things like this in different ways you can, like how this was put together. I wish I had enough knowledge in these subjects to properly appreciate how brilliant this is, why this is so stunning, because it really is. It feels like a picture book that's opened up, right? With the ones that open up and kind of like fold out to create like a 3D environment. That's what this feels like. And the way like she looks like this clay, or perhaps this like this porcelain creation, but she's like not all fully connected. So it's almost like those Nintendo Wii, the Mii's, except her arms seem to be mostly attached. But it's so beautiful, and there's just so, I don't know what to say. It's just beautiful and meaningful and gorgeous. God, I'm so happy they stuck with this song. It's so iconic for this. It's so iconic for this show. So the fact that they keep it, but keep it fresh and keep this far more somber rendition of it. I mean, it's rendition, it's the same song. It's just this TV size, this version. I feel like it's really going to help when the show gets even more emotional, and when it really like starts picking up. It's already emotional in case you couldn't tell, but when things really start to pick up and the show really starts gaining even more momentum, this ending is going to hit so hard. The first one hit hard too, don't get me wrong, but this one, there's really no other way to say it. This one just hits different. The fact that it hits so different despite being the same song, it's incredible. It's so incredible. I can't believe I am this floored by the ED, when the thing I should be floored by, the thing that I should be like spending all my time talking about, is the OP, because I've been waiting for it for so long. So I'm going to talk about it now. I'm going to talk about what I've been waiting for so long. I don't think there was too much in here. I came on this journey to chase after gorillas. There's no plural in Japanese, so that's basically how it reads, which is just so funny. It's not played off as a joke, and it's not, but it's just really funny, and I appreciate that. It probably wasn't even intentional, but my brain's an idiot, so what do you want from me? So now let's get into the opening. I've been waiting for this opening for a very long time. Far before I even considered the idea that I might make a YouTube channel. I've never watched it before, not once. I've listened to the TV size a bunch of times. I've listened to the full song an uncountable amount of times, but I've never seen the visuals. I've never looked at it. I've been holding off because I had a feeling that one day I would watch the show because it's just that good of a show. It's too good to not watch. So I held off, and I'm so glad I did, because this opening is just phenomenal. It's beautiful. God. Strangely dressed man just glazes Frieren, OP, and ED for 20 minutes. Because they deserve it. Oh my god, the attention to detail, the way she pats off her the dust off of her skirt thing, her robes, I guess. Oh, and something about it just looks great. It just looks beautiful. God, she walks over as the butterflies take off, presumably representing the amulet and the eternal love, which I'm pretty sure that was also the butterfly with the folded wings. And she walks over to... If I watch this opening next time and Sein's gone, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to be pissed, because that's going to be such a great little detail that I'm not going to pontificate if they'll do that or not, but I'm going to be pissed. That's all I'll say. The way the title card plays out over it as they're walking away. God, it's... And classic character walking past as the slide transition. Wow, look at those, like, turquoise, beautiful color with the overlays of all these different colors, the slightly different colors of these different scenes. And Frieren putting her hair up in a bun, everyone enjoying their food, Sein, because they just had to keep that hope in us. Or maybe that means he'll come back, maybe. Let me just huff this hopium real quick. Sein's coming back. He has to, right? Oh my god, and head pats. Oh my god, the head pats and the hand holding. God, this opening is lewd. I haven't seen the girl in the middle. I've seen the girl on the right. I've seen a lot of fan art of her. I don't know her name, though. I don't know anything about her. I'm pretty sure she's like a mage or potentially a priest. And that's yeah, Frieren with Flamme. And then coming back to her after the transition, as she looks over and sees Himmel? Or are those just like a... Yeah. Himmel statue. Oh. There's Flamme again. There's a whole bunch of flashes. And this just beautiful shot. Hold on. I need to see this again. Oh, wow. Something about it's just hits different. And speaking of hitting different, I had a feeling that when this opening does its beat drop, when it hits the chorus, it wouldn't be like most openings where it starts off super quiet, because the song just does that. And this is the perfect scene. This just beautiful. Just basically just a still shot of Fern feeling the flowers, but feeling the butterfly. But God, the art of it, the lighting. Oh God, this opening is just so visually stunning. There's these two again, creating a... What is that? I don't know what it is, but it's beautiful. God, we've got so much to look forward to in this latter, I guess half, not quite half, less than half of the show, huh? We've got so much. Oh, I can't wait to meet Ubel. Oh my god, she's so hot. I will say, I've seen a scene where she like slices somebody in half. I think it's her introduction scene. I haven't seen any context around it, so I don't know any details, but I can't wait to meet her. Whoa, so many characters we're going to be meeting. And then this person. God, are we finally going to meet this elf, I think? And then the old heroes party to the new... Frieren's old party to Frieren's new party. That's a really cool walking through the, what I assume, a bunch of different elves changing out as she's like going through the ages, right? I think it's a she. And then kind of this older time with people, and then the modern day, Frieren's modern day, and their expression changes too. Kind of eyes downcast to kind of neutral, and then smiling. Interesting. Then the hero, the old party, reaching out the hand for the adventure, and then the new party. God, I love this opening. I had such high expectations for it because it's my favorite song, probably of all time. I can't believe it still blew me away despite that. How incredible. Ja genki de. Beautiful. Beautiful. Perfect. And then we get stuck again. Cold hands. Very lewd. We've all done this before. Let's not pretend that we haven't all done this. Even me, who's lived in SoCal, who's never lived somewhere where it snows until this past like half year. But as long as it doesn't blizzard, and it blizzards. Classic. Coldplay's last an entire month. That's nothing compared to what we're used to. But it means the journey's going to go on a little bit longer. Isn't that too bad? And he smiles. And then they all go do their things as the month passes. And then we get to Sein's mediation, which I really liked this. I was kind of with Sein first, where I was like, is mediating really a thing that priests do? But we'll get to that in a second. But her pouting faces are so cute. But I was hesitant to take it at face value because Frieren has a tendency to blame Stark, and Stark has a tendency to accept the blame. Though I guess with the birthday one, he also got a little bit upset too, because she didn't hear him out. But I mean, come on. Even if her reason was actually different from what he expected, and different probably from what we expected, where it's like the strength of his grip basically kind of caught her off guard. First of all, don't walk up from behind somebody, let alone a girl, and touch their face. Obviously, right? I mean, whether you're outside or even if you're in a cabin, even if you're at home, don't do that. You're just asking to get slapped. And second of all, don't do it with your palm. I'll let it go because he's obviously oblivious. He lived pretty much a sheltered life just like her. Sheltered, obviously, the tragic past, but he's lived a life kind of separate from the bigger world, similar to her for a lot of his life. So I can understand him for not having the full like social awareness, but you don't use your palm, use the back of your hand. Come on. First of all, it's actually colder, so it's going to be more of a shock, but also it's not, it's unhygienic, but also it's like super intimate, right? Your open hand is very intimate. That's why we shake hands. That's why that's been a greeting for millennia, because it's intimacy. It's a sign that you are exposing yourself, that you do not have a weapon, that you are not guarded, that you are not hiding yourself. Palms are intimate. So yeah, don't, unless you're trying to be intimate with her, which he obviously wasn't. He was just trying to get her back because he's a kid too, but he's learned a lot of lessons today. What are you, child? Topic that we will talk about that will be quite prevalent throughout this episode. Yeah, girls don't like that. Come on. I mean, I don't think guys like that either, but with a girl and a guy doing it to a girl, it's such a recipe for disaster. This line breaks my heart a little. It's nothing surprising, especially with how many substances he indulges in, smoking, drinking, and the fact that he's a priest. But it's not surprising that he has a lack of self-esteem. It's something we've seen before, right? It's still tough because, I mean, it's something we've seen in all these characters as kind of a through line. Everyone pretty much but Frieren. And yeah, it's completely understandable though. There's obviously the regret of leaving his friend behind, right? Of not going on the adventure. He regrets that. So he feels like he should have done it, so he probably takes it out on himself. He blames himself for not doing it. And also for kind of holding his brother back, which we realized more recently. Or I guess not recently, he's kind of been holding that in, but more than that, it's self-esteem or lack of self-esteem is most often something that comes about when you fail to live according to your values, your prescribed values, I should say. When you claim to value a certain thing and you perhaps do value that certain thing and you keep it in the front of your mind and you don't live according to it in one way or another to them. Say you value living healthy and being active. If you spend a day doom scrolling and being in your bed, that's going to hurt your self-esteem because you're not living according to your values. If, say, you value socializing with people, but after work you go straight home and you don't go anywhere else, and the only time you're outside is when you're at work, that's probably going to hurt your self-esteem because you're not living according to your values. Whether you're aware of it or not, that's generally the biggest source where that lack of self-esteem comes from. It's that disconnect. I want to do this, I want to live my life this way, but I act this way. It's cognitive dissonance in a sense. And I mean, I would even argue it's even more powerful when it is unconscious, when you don't realize it out loud. But even if you don't realize it or you don't think you realize it, your brain is smarter than that. It does realize it. It knows better. And it keeps track. And it keeps track of the fact that to your brain, you are somebody who claims to value one thing yet won't live by it. You are a hypocrite. So of course it hurts your self-esteem, right? So look at Sein. He valued his friendship and adventuring, but he didn't go on the adventure. He values being a priest, and that's kind of his big identity, and yet he smokes and drinks and gambles. He's a bad priest, according to him. So of course he has this lack of self-esteem, right? He doesn't think he's good at heart. He doesn't think highly of himself, even though he really is very good. And we've only seen good from him, pretty much. And in this scene, we see even more good of him. We see how good at mediating he is. And we see how good, and really what Frieren was saying when she was talking about priests being good at mediating, because it's about giving advice, right? It's not the mediating we think, where it's like, I'll give both opinions and then I will have you guys kiss and make up. It's genuine advice. It's somebody going to church and confessing their sins. And yeah, priests are great at that, right? Most religious figureheads are generally pretty darn good at this. It's kind of what they do. I'm here to talk things through with you and to give you advice, how I see it, and how to live your best life. It just so happens in this case, it's regarding a relationship, regarding two people who, for one reason or another, are not really willing to talk to each other. So yeah, he's perfect for mediation in this case. And Frieren, who's as socially awkward as Fern is very much not. And I really love how Fern continues to be so self-conscious and so self-aware, I should say. She's very self-aware. Whenever they do have these fights, she never has to be confronted with what she's done. She's almost always openly admitted it and even brought it up, like here. She knows she overreacts. She knows that she deserves some of the blame, but of course she's human, so she's not always willing to admit it. But the fact that she's willing to admit this and be so open about it is very telling about her character. It says a lot about how forthcoming she is, about how genuine she is. Like, this isn't something that you generally want to admit to somebody. The fact that it scares you, how often are you willing to admit something scares you? Like, not as a joke or not like in front of friends. How often are you willing to admit that you were vulnerable enough to be scared by something that, especially in this case, by something that rationally shouldn't scare you? Because Stark shouldn't scare her, right? Rationally speaking, they know each other, and he didn't actually pose a threat to her. There's very little rationality in her being scared in this context. A girl being touched from behind on the shoulder by a strong man, yeah, you can rationalize that being scared. But with all the context of here, no, it's not rational. So the fact that she's willing to admit being vulnerable, being scared irrationally, like practically unprompted, unless we just didn't see the part where he, and like we saw, like she admitted her fault. He didn't pressure her like, why did you react that way? She openly gave this information. And it just speaks volumes about her character, that she's willing to do this, that she's able to do this, and that she doesn't even need prodding, that she voluntarily gives it up. It's part of the reason why I love her character so much. She's incredible, and she's going to grow into such an incredible and emotionally intelligent adult that she can do that. I mean, it's amazing. Yeah, and if you can tell him that you're scared, then you're not going to have any trouble telling it to him, someone you know better. But of course she does. She's still bashful. Be gentler. I'm sorry. It's a step in the right direction. Still kind of puts the blame onto him, but it's not too bad. I'm not sure what happened, but I think you're trying really hard. Oh, at least you need to hurry up and be a couple. And then there's that topic about kids again. Again, it's so great how the show has like these separate vignettes, but has so many through lines connecting them. There's last time it was about memory and about being forgotten and legacy. This time it's about what it means to be a kid and being human, and also Sein, because Sein, his writings and his advice, the things that he's left behind, help them a lot in the second half of the episode. And then this is also really great. Why do you trouble yourself with me? Like when you invited me to travel. Maybe it really is a dislike of my own kind. You reminded me of myself before I left. It made me angry. And I wanted to give you a reason. A reason to go on this journey. A reason to do what you wanted to do. Just like how Himmel gave you a reason to go out and do something. To go out and make a name for yourself, as Flamme told you after you live a life of obscurity. And this is such a beautiful line too. It's something we've heard before, of course, and I've been told that this is a line that people repeated like in the real world as they do good deeds. It's what they cite. So the fact that this show has actually caused like people to do good deeds is wonderful. And then, I'll be your reason. So she decided to be his reason. And once again, yet another through line of this episode, of the first and latter half of the episode, is paying it forward, right? Is giving to somebody what you wanted, what was given to you. I had to crack open the window a little bit. It was getting a little too hot in here. Hopefully it's not too loud, or I don't think it's being picked up in the mic, but hopefully it won't be too much of a bother. But what I was talking about here is yet another, and probably my favorite through line between the two vignettes of this episode. The idea of taking one, pass it on, right? None of us are born into this world, none of us live our lives knowing what we're doing. It's something I've talked about before in the show, about us trying to become adults, right? With Hyder, where we fake it till we make it, and really we fake it till we die, because we never truly make it. We're all just doing our best to embody what we think an adult is, as we've seen other people do. And this builds that out. It reminds us that the things that we do, like especially for other people, when we do something for someone else, it's rarely out of nothing. Most of the time, it's, whether we're aware of it or not, it's us doing something that has been done to or for us. Somebody reached out their hand to me, invited me on an adventure, So I'm going to do the same because I know that felt good to me. And if I meet somebody who wants to go on an adventure but is not honest with himself, I will do that too. I will do what has been done for me. Later, it's holding someone's hand, right? When they're sick. It made me feel better, so I'm going to do it when somebody else is sick, and I'm in the position to hold their hand. And then they pass it on. We saw that came back several times. We'll see later in the episode. But here, it's Frieren was effectively awoken to her courage and her desire to go on an adventure and to save the world, you could say, by Himmel. So naturally, she decides to pass on the consideration, the gesture of holding out your hand to somebody. And I love that. I really love that, because that really is it. That really is what we do when we want to do something. We think back to our own experience. What would I most want to have happen, and what has happened to me that made me feel a certain way that I want someone else to feel. And I'm going to do that thing because it's worked, right? It's tried and true. So that's why she did it. And of course, also part of it's for herself, right? She sees a little her in Sein. And she's talking to herself. Go on this adventure, do this thing. You're frustrating me. What would I have said to myself in that time? I'll say to you. And then they have what I can only describe as a JoJo's Part 3 farewell, where it's not quite JoJo's, where they just part ways, walking away from each other at the same time, stoic expressions on their faces, but it's very quick, very brief. It's, I guess, how adults say farewell, and it kind of is. And I really hope it's not the end, because they all clearly care about each other and have enjoyed their travels. It's so quiet traveling alone. What a different experience, isn't it? Everything's different when you're not with other people, when you're doing things alone. That's why I stopped watching anime. At least that's why I think I stopped watching anime, because I grew to value company and doing things with company. There are things I do alone. Obviously, like, I prefer going to the gym alone, but most things that I find worth doing are worth doing in good company. So, which is why this channel means so much to me and is so powerful to me. It's a way that we can watch in company, even if we're not physically with other people. We're not even on a call, but I know you guys are watching it too. So it's like you guys are with me watching it, and I'm not alone. But at the same time, I don't want that to mean you shouldn't do things alone, or it's bad to be quiet, right? Because I think he is a little bit, like, there's a bit of regret here when he says it's so quiet traveling alone, but I don't think I think there's also some peace to it. I think there's a bit of relief. This is kind of how things were, and it's nice to return back to this. It's bittersweet. Because, yeah, I personally value things in company, doing things with company, but that doesn't mean things are more valuable in company. It just means to me that they are. If you like doing things alone, that's perfectly fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And it's just as valid as me enjoying things with company. I just don't get as much value from doing things alone. And that's our own things, right? It's not worse, just different. And it's also such a line to potentially say farewell to Sein with. Hopefully not for the last time. Then Fern gets sick. Frieren is very Frieren. About as Frieren can get. And then we get to Frieren holding Fern's hand. We learn about the ice cold cherry blossom seaweed tree, which is absolutely gorgeous, but You've been holding her hand since we arrived because she seems to be in pain. When Fern has a cold, holding her hand makes her feel better. She's been that way since she was a child. Stop treating me like a child. You're embarrassing me. Oh, I'm so cute. She's blushing. I mean, she's sick. She's got a fever, but she's blushing. We all know she's blushing, and it's not just because of the fever. But it's clearly Frieren's taken aback by this because it's not normal, right? She doesn't usually be bothered by Frieren treating her like a child. She treats all humans like a child to a degree, but I think she's becoming more and more self-conscious being around Stark, who she's finding herself growing more and more feelings with, and she doesn't want to be seen as a child by him, even though he's a child. And maybe part of it's her wanting to distinguish herself from him because she sees him as a child. But I think it's a mixture of both. So we get to the tree, and it is just absolutely gorgeous. I wish we could have shown Fern. But then Stark presses her, brings back up, holding her hand like a child. It looked like she was in pain. It's the only way I know how to relieve her pain. What should I have done, I wonder? I guess you just have to do what you want to do. You just have to do what you can do. And this starts bringing it back, right? They talk a little bit later about the succession, about doing what was done to you, but there's also this aspect, which is the aspect of doing everything you can do. This is all I can think to do, so I'm going to do it. And if you've had somebody who's sick in your life and you've had to take care of them, you probably relate to this, and you probably relate to this anyway. I think most people had at least some interaction with this feeling one way or another. A feeling of helplessness, like there's not really anything I can do, but I really want to do something. So even if it seems meaningless, even if it's small, even if it's just holding their hand, I want to do it because I want to do everything I can. And that everything is upsettingly small to me. So let me do what I can, at the very least. At least that's what my master did. People probably need emotional support. What a way with words. Truly a wordsmith beyond his time, Stark. People probably need emotional support. Nobody dislikes receiving support, obviously. But it's true, right? No matter how independent you are, everyone enjoys company and everyone enjoys being supported because we're social creatures at heart. And then we finally get to it. We finally get to the root. Except we probably don't, because his mother probably had this done to her when she was a child too. Frieren holds Fern's hand because Hyder held hers. Hyder holds Frieren's hand because his mom held his. And I'm sure his mother held his hands because somebody held hers. It's one part, as we talked about, doing what's been done to you, what's been done for you for somebody else. And it's also another part carrying on their spirit, which is something that we talked about last episode, right? It was a big part of last episode. In a way, they live on through you, through your actions, through you doing what they did, and you kind of carry their spirit on that way. You carry on not just their actions, but their feelings. The feeling of helping people, giving more out into the world because somebody gave to you. And that's beautiful because that's just net good, right? That's the greatest argument against the world being zero sum, about happiness being zero sum. That's not true. And we see that here because people do good to other people, and those people they've done good to want to do good and kind. Most people do anyways. And that just creates net good. Everyone feels good and the world just becomes better. Happiness is not zero sum. Even if, as much as some people might try to make it so. And then again, with yet another through line, because there's just so many, the idea of children. It's not just children who need emotional support. It doesn't bother you, does it? And then he makes jokes because that's what he does when things are too tender. He needs to cut the tension a little bit. It's not really tension, but yeah, it's really cute. I really like it. I love this. I love this. The idea that adults are just big children. Because once you reach a certain age, once you become of age according to your culture, you don't suddenly change, right? There's no transformation, there's no evolution that happens. We don't suddenly stop needing what we needed as a child. Sure, we may grow out of a lot of things, but the fundamentals, the love, the care, the support, we don't grow out of those, even if a lot of us try to convince ourselves we do. We try to convince ourselves that independence means not needing support, not needing others to be there for us, but that's not true. Independence is not you can go ahead and quote this. Independence is not a lack of dependence. Independence is a lack of dependence. It's not a lack of support, though, right? It's not a lack of connection. Independence doesn't mean you become a hermit. It doesn't mean you recede from society. It doesn't mean you are any less, your emotions need tending to any less, and you need support from other people any less. We just try to convince ourselves we do because it's how we think independence works. We are convinced by whoever, our family, the world around us, adults, peers, media, that adults shouldn't do this, adults shouldn't do that. And while I don't disagree with all of that, I think there are certainly things you should and shouldn't do to delineate yourself from a child. In case you can't tell, for me, a lot of that is dressing, and a lot of that is behavior. I don't think you should run around screaming and acting like a little kid when you're an adult. I think you should act mature to a degree. But things like needing other people, needing emotional support, being willing and able to rely on other people, that's not something you can nor should grow out of. That's just a part of life. And it doesn't make you any less independent for being honest with yourself about that. It doesn't make you any less independent, and it doesn't make you any less of an adult. Nobody likes being acted like, seen as a pampered child, especially around somebody they like. And again, I will do good for you. Cute little Frieren waddle. And cute little goody 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 goody. Come on, scaries. She's not scary. And then finally, if they haven't driven the emotional point home enough, she holds her hand again. I'm not a child. I know. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful, and it's perfect, right? It's just perfect. This shows that oftentimes the things that we find disagreeable, the things that we don't like, that we object to, that other people do, isn't actually what they're doing. It's about why we think they're doing it. It's about the reason. That's generally what really offends us. I don't care that you didn't invite me out to the party. I care that it implies that you think I would embarrass you or that I wouldn't be good at the party. It implies things, right? And that's what we get angry about. We rarely actually get angry about deeds. It's generally the motives behind them. It's the context. And in this case, it's not really the hand-holding, right? It's not really the treating me like a child. It's the fact that it's the idea that Frieren might be looking down on her, might be treating her less than she would treat other people because she treats her like a child. So when Frieren acknowledges it here and just says, I know that, and she repeats herself because she really wants Fern to know she's not just dismissing her. I know you're not a child, and I'm not treating you as if I see you as a child. I'm treating you this way because I know it makes you feel good. I'm not going to change my behavior, but I want you to know that it is not for the reason that you think. And sure enough, Fern is okay with it now. She doesn't mind it anymore because she knows that Frieren's not treating her like a child. She's just caring for her, and that's okay. It doesn't make her a child for being cared for. That's so beautiful. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's such a great episode. It's such an incredible, wonderful, lovely episode. I don't know if you can tell, but I really like this episode. This is one of my favorite episodes of the show, I think. It's really good. It's really good. And part of it, yes, it's very biased because I probably wouldn't like this episode quite as much if it didn't also have the absolutely stupendous opening and ending. But even despite those, I mean, you saw I had so much to talk about because there's so much to talk about because this is just a really, really great episode, start to finish. It's just really great. I loved it. I hope you loved it too. If you did, please do remember to like and subscribe to get notified whenever new ones come out. If you want to see the reactions unaltered, go ahead and check out Patreon. $2 a month gets you access to that. It also gives you access to more weight on when you vote on my polls, which there's one going on right now because JJK, I'm about to get caught up. So if you want to have a little bit more say in those polls, go ahead and be subscribed and support me because my Patreon is more of a tip jar than anything, with little added benefits for me as a way for me to say thank you. But if you want to say thank you, yeah, I would really appreciate that. But more than that, please do leave a comment on your thoughts, whether it's in the episode, something I misunderstood, which happens all the time, or something that I skipped over, didn't talk about much, or it's something I said that you agree or disagree with, something you just want to build off on. Please do leave it in the comments. I love to read it. I read every single one without exception, because it really is about the community, right? It's about watching this thing and not being alone, being in good company. So I look forward to seeing you down there. So whether I see you down there or in my next video, though, thank you so, so much for watching. And until that next time, have a lovely rest of your day.